Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and I've made yet another impulsive computer purchase that my bank account is not too happy about. Well, it wasn't really that much money, but it was a long drive though. I had to drive 2 hours into Virginia to get this thing. But this is a Gateway GP7-550, built March 12th of 2000. Now, I already had a Gateway that kind of looks like this. In fact, it looks a lot like this, which is a Gateway Select that I bought about a year and a half ago. But it was a AMD Athlon, great CPU though, but it was missing an ISA slot, which was kind of disappointing. But this one has the ISA slot plus a 550 megahertz Pentium 3, 256 megs of RAM, which I'm assuming was upgraded with an NVIDIA card. I think it's a GeForce 2MX, I want to say. So this is a pretty good system for the time. And in this video, we're going to set it up and get it restored, because it's going to need a little bit of work done to it. For one thing, this CD-ROM drive, the tray is missing a belt. Should not be that loose. I could fix it, but I've got a DVD-RW drive I can put in here, so might as well just upgrade it. Besides, I don't think this is the original drive to the system anyway. And also, this computer is a little bit yellowed. Not the worst I've ever seen, but I still may consider retro brighting it this summer when it gets a little warmer. And we'll turn around. So on the back we've got two PS2 ports, two USB 1.1 ports, two serial ports, parallel, and down here we have our NVIDIA card. This is a VGA out. Got a sound card. This is something that is going to be coming out of here because it is one of my least favorite sound cards in the world, a Sound Blaster 128. Some of the worst ad-lib emulation I've ever heard, but again, thankfully this has an ISA slot, so we will take care of that. That's an Ethernet card, which I'm sure is aftermarket. And another network card with looks like a token ring connector. I will probably be removing that because there's really nothing I can do with it. So what are we going to be throwing in here? Well, I can't drop anything. We adding this stuff. Got an SD to IDE adapter, which will be used with a 32 gig SD card. Just go ahead and put it in there. Here's our sound card we're going to be putting in it. This is a generic Sound Blaster Vibra, I assume. But it'll give us much better sounding MIDI, especially in DOS. And we're going to be adding this LG DVD-RW drive, so we can have a working optical drive and an upgraded optical drive. And I'm also going to be replacing the CMOS battery. I do know it's dead. I actually forgot to grab one. It's on the other side of the room. But we'll go ahead and open her up. Not sure if these thumb screws are original, but they're a welcome addition. And I gotta find my screwdriver. Where did I put that thing? Okay, found my screwdriver and CMOS battery, so let me just take this side off. The only reason we need to take this side panel off is to get to the optical drive. Don't you roll away on me. And by the way, there's no hard drive in here. It was taken out by the original owner. Also notice there's no dial-up modem card in here. Presumably they replaced it with one of these network connectors. Probably the Ethernet. That's okay. We're not going to miss it. First things first, let's go ahead and change out that battery. Oh, it's one of the easier ones. If I can get it in, maybe. There we go. All right, new battery in. We'll go ahead and change out the optical drive. Why is it Molex connectors, I tell you. Oh, I forgot to mention, of course you probably saw it when we had the front of the computer showing. This does have a zip drive. Guy who sold it to me is not sure of the health of it though. Oh, I see. You can't come in through that way. Oh. CD audio cable's not connected. No big deal. But we are unhooked. And we'll go ahead and put this new, unscrew this old one. I feel like there's some plastic clips missing on this front panel right here. And I'm going to move my main computer screen out of the way because I do not want to poke it with my screwdriver. My wallet would not be happy. Neither would I. Get this side out of here. I don't know why these late 90s, early 2000s gateways just seem so charming to me. I know I had a gateway from 2001 that I bought new in 2001. But it was, and I've talked about it before on this channel many times, a piece of absolute garbage. Very high-end system, very powerful, but it was garbage. I think I finally figured out why that was. I think it was because it used the Intel 815 chipset, which is apparently notorious for failure. Well, not really failure, but unreliability. Anyway, here's our old optical drive. It has a gateway part number and a manufacture date of January 2000, so maybe this is the original drive. And again, yeah, that should not be that loose. So we will dispose of that. And we'll add our new drive in. This will be a lot nicer. A DVD-RW drive on a system this old, maybe a little unorthodox, but maybe someone had one hooked up to one of these, I don't know. Back in the day, I didn't have one until I got my Dell Dimension 2350 in 2003. And that thing was such a primitive DVD-RW drive, it would only write to plus disk. By that I mean plus R and plus RW. Minus R, minus RW, forget it. Wouldn't even do anything with those things. 2350, which I still own 22 years later, has a better DVD-RW drive in it that can read and burn everything. Of course, that took me like a decade or two to take care of, because I think the original drive that was in it quit working anyway, so it needed to be replaced no matter what. Alright, screwed in. Plug our connections up. Plug our CD audio up. First of all, since that's the hardest to get to. Okay, now for our SD card. I'm going to sit down for a minute here while I do this. Now, where would a good place be for it? How about right here, right above the video card? Take this blank out. By the way, for those who saw last week's video about the Power Mac G4, I do have a SD card adapter ordered that be here soon. Maybe I'll do a quick little update video on installing that if anyone's interested. Okay. Where's our, okay, here's our hard drive IDE. I'm not sure what capacity drive was in here originally. Well, it's a rather short IDE cable, but I think we can make it work. Guess we can go ahead and connect it. Go. Okay, I'm having some difficulty getting this Molex connector to reach over here, so I'm just gonna... Oh, it's one of these things. Why did I go all the way to the kitchen to get the scissors? Well, lesson learned, I think. I guess that's a lesson. So now we can go ahead and connect that. I figure out a good way to do it, as in routing it. There we go. And I think I'll screw it in on off camera. Okay, SD card is in. Now we'll take out this nasty Sound Blaster 128. Do not recommend these unless you're wanting to purely use Windows and no DOS at all. Yep, here we go. The CT5803. Yeah, I do not care for these. They can be tossed aside. And we may have to move a few things around to get the network card in. I mean the new sound card. First of all, I guess we need to get rid of this token ring network card. I don't have any way to hook up token ring to anything, so this is just a waste of a PCI slot. Right, there it is. It's a X-Link's Spartan, for those who care about this stuff. Guess I'll have to find a slot blank. And while I'm here, I do want to see what kind of network card is in here, the Ethernet one that is, just so I'll know what drivers to look for. Okay, it's like it's one of those SMC cards. That's fine. Right, now we'll take this slot blank out because we've only got one ISA slot and it's on the bottom. Okay. And we'll hook up our CD audio. Thank goodness this has an ISA slot. And this has a wavetable header on it too, so I can give it a nice bit of wavetable someday if I feel like it. Those things are getting kind of cheap now from Tech Select. May have to look into that. Whoa. Is this the correct screw, I wonder? Here we go. Yeah. Whoa, don't do that. Oh well, that's still good. Now, is there anything else we need to add into here? Nope. So we'll put our slot blanks back in. I'll screw them in off camera. I think we're ready to go. Got everything in here and everything I want out. Only thing that concerns me a little bit is this heat sink shroud for the fan, which connects to this, hooks into this, to the power supply. It looks like one of the plastic tabs is broken off, so it's a little bit loose, but hopefully it'll suffice. Okay, here's the front of it with our new DVD-RW drive, which I'm going to assume will be a lot happier than that busted one we had in here before. Tell you, it seems like the CD drives on these old computers are always the first thing to go. Something fell. I don't know what it was. And here's what the back I/O looks like now. Okay, got it hooked up in its spot. Well, mostly I just wanted to wait and plug this in on camera in case it turns itself on when I plug it in. Here we go. Yep, glad I got that. Alright, got a signal. Already knew it was going to work because the seller of this computer, when I went to his house, actually showed it running, so that's good. Now we'll go into our CMOS settings. Alright, wants us to check our CMOS because the checksum is bad, as to be expected. And this is a 440BX, one of the best vintage chipsets I've ever used. Okay, and what time is it? It is 6:04 p.m., so it would be 18:04. And it is March 27th, 2025. Well, what is it doing? There we go. Alright, what else do we need? I will turn plug and play on. Yeah, we'll turn legacy USB support on in case we need to hook up a USB keyboard or mouse someday. Okay, picks up the SD card adapter, DVD drive, and the zip drive. Floppy drive looks good. Alright, everything looks good. Alright. Now I need to go grab the restore CD for this computer, and we will get this thing up and running. Okay, got a restore CD. Let's see if this drive will open. And it does, assuming this is a good drive. I mean, it ejects and closes like it should. Okay, it'll boot from the CD first, that's good. I can't remember what I had running on this SD card, but whatever it is, it's going to be wiped out in a minute. Alright, Gateway System Restoration CD boot menu, boot from CD. And these CDs usually let you pick between Windows 95 or Windows 98. I am going to be going with 98 SC. I think this CD actually came with a Gateway. This program does not install Windows NT. Oh, what a tragedy. Alright. We will hit F1. The good news is the new DVD drive seems to be functional, even though it didn't detect my CD drive. But it is IDE CD-ROM drive. We'll just do that, and we will go with 98. We'll format hard drive and install Windows. Whatever was on this SD card must not have been important because I can't remember what was on it. Maybe I should have checked. It's scanning system. I don't think we need to invoke any custom load menus. I think these speakers I have hooked up, these Boston Acoustics, originally came with a Gateway. These are really good speakers, by the way. They got them at Goodwill last year. Looks like it's copying files, probably drivers and applications. OS is kept on a separate CD. Okay, what we got here? Please remove the CD from the CD-ROM drive. We will do what it says, or else it may harm us. I don't know if it has my address. Ever notice whenever I do a computer video, especially when I'm restoring something, and a lot of people do the same thing, when I ask you to press a key, we just slam our finger down on it. Just one of my weird observations. Windows 98, splash screen at least. Alright, now it wants the Windows CD. Again, I have one of those. And this is second edition because, again, we do not allow first edition in this house. It says let it wait a few seconds. Alright, installation is being prepared. Alright, we're going into Windows 98 setup. It just did scan disk, which was off camera. Who wants to see scan disk? One thing I do need to test on this computer is the floppy drive. I haven't had a chance to try that yet. Hopefully that works, because I'm not sure if I have any spares at the moment. I think pretty much most of this setup process on these gateways is pretty automated from what I recall. So we just got to let it just sit here and do what it's got to do. Don't really have to touch anything. Oh, I love that drum. Dun 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 dun. Okay, why is it not detecting my mouse? It was working a while ago. Oh, sound works. A little quiet, but it works. I'm just concerned about the mouse. Okay, we'll install the update. Okay, weird discovery. Somehow it's not even connected. How did that happen? I swear I got that thing hooked up. I swear it was working a while ago. But we'll plug it in, and next time we reboot, we'll hopefully have a mouse. Oh, look at that. Working mouse. That's what we want. Looks like it's installing Norton Antivirus 2000. I think that's going to be uninstalled immediately. Okay, everything's done here. Reinsert your system restoration CD to begin the installation of GoPack. Well, I don't know what that is, but hey, we'll do it. Your virus protection is 9,292 days old. Wow, it's almost like it's the year 2025. Oh, I got a cute little cow box here. So, we'll go ahead and install a help spot. Well, is that already installed? I don't think so. I think everything there is installed, but I think we need some hardware. Okay, why is it not seeing the NVIDIA card, I wonder? That's peculiar. This is the original card with it, isn't it? Well, let's see what is on here. Yeah, we might have to do that manually. Oh, time to find some drivers, it looks like. Okay, before I go driver hunting, maybe I can at least try the floppy drive, see how this works. Hopefully it does. And it does. And we can run this unknown devices program. Just out of curiosity, see what drivers it needs. Wow, it has no idea what that network card is. Well, that's bizarre. It's seeing the Ethernet card properly now. had to reseat it. Doesn't show up as unsupported device anymore, so it must have been a bad connection, but looks like I'm able to install the driver now, except the browse button is missing. Okay, I finally got the drivers installed. Funny enough, unsupported device, 2 of them are still showing up here. I don't know what they are. Thought it was the network driver, but guess not. But there it is, the SMC Easy card. And NVIDIA GeForce 2 MX, courtesy of Phil's Computer Lab. Don't know why the Gateway CD didn't have it on there. I guess this must have been upgraded. So maybe this computer's not as original as I thought it was. But you know what? I'm going to keep this card in here anyway. Because from what I understand, this is actually a really good card. Gonna get some information on it. Yeah, 32 megs of video memory. So very good card. I'll definitely keep it in here. We can do twin view. And I had to turn it down to 60 hertz so the camera wouldn't freak out. But we can try a DOS game. Just need to get it off of my network drive. Oh, actually, no, this SD card, I forgot, already had a partition on here with games on it. So that's very convenient. We'll give it the Sky Roads test, because that's always the best indicator that everything's working. Or we could just completely freeze the computer. That's not a good sign. Yeah, it's brain dead now, thanks to Sky Roads. Yeah, that's not a good sign. That's usually a simple game to run. Control-Alt-Delete does nothing. Okay, I tried Sky Roads again. Same thing, it completely crashed the computer. Not a good sign. I guess we'll try another DOS game. Which one should we do? How about Duke Nukem 2? Why did it do that? Why did it crash again? Why? Don't DOS games run on here? Okay, I installed the DOS sound drivers, so let's see if we can run it through DOS mode. And we can. Well, at least this works. I'm guessing the issue must lie within Windows. My apologies for the flickering. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. At least we can run stuff like this. And it sounds good. You might just have to run everything through pure DOS, which is probably the better way to do everything anyway. I might do a mem test though on here just to make sure.
I'm back.
Yes, he's back, apparently. You know, I've never even played Duke Nukem 1. I've only ever played Duke Nukem 2 and maybe just a little bit of Duke Nukem 3D. Okay, why is it doing that? I don't have a joystick hooked up. There we go. Not very good at this game. By the way, notice how better this sounds on a Sound Blaster than it does on a Gravis Ultrasound. Oh, that's good enough for me. Okay, quick update. I'm now able to run games, DOS games through Windows. And it was all because of the video driver. The GeForce 2MX driver I was using previously, the earlier one, was causing the crashing for some reason. But I updated to the 2004 era driver. And check this out. Perfect. It's a lot happier now, isn't it? So yeah, the driver from, I guess, summer of 2000, wouldn't recommend it for DOS games. At least for one of these computers. So there you go. Alright, I guess that's enough for this video. I'm going to do a more in-depth overview of this computer for Easter Sunday this year. You know, it's a tradition. We've always got to do something Gateway related for Easter, and this year's going to be no exception. So, hope you stick around for that. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. Please follow me on social media for channel and project updates. You may also support me on Patreon or as a channel member if you'd like. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off.